All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the very first time we get to see our brand new Overwatch squad get to participate in a match. Today we have St. Clair College versus St. Louis University. And today on the commentary desk, I am joined by Shadi, also known as Zeddy Mental. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to see our teams play.
Wonderful, wonderful. And now we do take a look at our St. Clair squad. You may see a couple of names that you do recognize from the last semester. However, got a couple new faces. Well, have Ryder on a DPS, Seymour on a tank, Prada tank as well. Justin and Apostle on support and available to DPS.
Yeah, I'm really excited with the squad that we have lined up this year. I've seen Seymour play a couple times, and I know he's going to be that strong tank line that this team needs, so I'm really excited to see how they perform in this first game one.
Well, on the other side, we do have Matt, Trundle, Q-Jog, Weatherman, Genghis Kong, and Gizmo. As I say Gizmo, he goes down pretty much right away. Available, making his name known nice and quick, finding himself a quick double as St. Clair look to try and take care of this first checkpoint.
Yeah, it's a really strong lineup that they have here with the double dive and the Sombra. Makes it really easy for them to make kickoffs in the back line.
Yeah, a little bit of throw there for the side of St. Louis. Seems to be kind of trickling a little bit here going towards this point. And Strider just looking to be an absolute best. St. Clair in fantastic position to try and hold this as the percent starts to start ticking down here.
Yeah, and I mean, with these maps like Oasis, you know, oftentimes flanking and kind of picking off comps aren't really highly valued, but you can see here already how the value of these like flanking heroes is really doing to shut down supports and DPS in the backline and really make space on the board.
Oh gosh, he might be a tank, but it does not matter. Wada going in hard, getting himself a triple. And Seymour also coming around to clean up the rest of the scraps with the rest of the St. Clair squad. And this one is looking pretty strong for them. 3 ults will probably have about 5 by the next time this team fight happens. Meanwhile, St. Louis University coming on a few ults of their own, but they really need a fight to turn in their favor. Otherwise, this could be a quick runaway.
Yeah, and the strength of these ultimates is really going to determine how these fights kind of play out, you know. With the Moira ulti being a really good tool to kind of push in even when you're flanking from behind, so Hugo is really going to be a big presence for his team in this next push here.
Oh, that's a rough spot to be in if you're St. Louis, completely slaughtered down. Right into that tight corridor. There's going to be ultimate coming out here from Dingus, but I don't think that's going to save them in the slightest.
You know, that dynamite was just absolutely perfect. From available, really good way to hold that control point there.
Perfect timing. Hondo was able to at least get out of there, put on a little extra harass, but they're running out of time here. 85% currently being shown on this first portion of Oasis, nice and quick.
And we still have like a ton of ultis there on St. Clair's side for this next fight here. That Diva ulti is going to come in really clutch. We actually see Diva ulti coming in from Weatherman here, pushing in. Matt takes out the Sombra on the side, and the Death Lotus drops. Yeah, this fight's going crazy. Ults are flying everywhere. We're going to see how they respond to this. Reaper fighting the Winston on the side here.
Here for St. Clair now, that fight definitely went into the favor of St. Louis, who's still getting some additional kills on the scoreboard. Justin just going to take it off the edge. They are accepting that this is a lost team fight, and they're just going to regroup and try to get one more push. They just need one more team fight win in order to take this, and they'll be able to hear themselves game number 1.
Yeah, for sure. And here with this next fight coming up, we have, you know, we still have on St. Clair's side a couple ultis remaining, a couple really strong ultis remaining. So taking the time to regroup here could be a really quick push onto this fight here in the center, while St. Louis is without ultimates for the most part.
We have Diva Bomb available as well here on the side of St. Clair. Easily clear out this place. Bit of an odd angle with that center pillar, but he's going to manage to take out a big target, and Dingus Khan nicely done there from Seymour. Diva during that, the town barrier coming down, but it's not going to be in time to save Trundle. Justin may be the healer, but doesn't mind doing some damage as well. The squad alive while also planting here. Yeah. Available, getting kind of pressured a bit by Matt. However, fuck his way out of here. Gonna try one more time. It's gonna be Diva Bomb coming up from Weatherman. It is gonna catch Seymour, however. So this is a back and forth flipper of a fight, and it's actually gonna manage to go over in this university favor. Slowly but surely clean this fight out. So defensive position here. They're gonna try and push their luck, but wisely gonna back off.
You know, and it kind of leads to show that, like, St. Louis, those first couple fights, you know, it looked like they were all just going St. Clair's way, but maybe they were just taking their time to kind of like assess the way that they fight and kind of do some recon and really swing these fights in their favor. These last 2 fights have been absolutely dominant for St. Louis, so really excited to see how this last final fight goes down.
That's going to be the EMP coming up from Trundle right away to stall St. Clair for at least a little bit longer, be able to pressure alongside the rest of the squad. Strider hanging on for dear life. Hanging just by a thread. It's going to be a Diva Bomb. That one's from Seymour. Going to try and clear this hallway, get this a little bit of space to work with. But it's a back and forth battle on the points. What in the absolute middle of everything. That's going to be a D-Mex Diva here on this St. Louis. Back and forth, coalescing Kamehameha across the point. And they're trying their best. Both teams, 99-99. This team fight will absolutely decide this first point. Game number 1. Also try to keep everybody alive. First kill coming. The Yeltsin's going to be just secure 1. And now the rest of St. Clair cleaning up the house here. As we have to just deal with a couple more members of St. Louis. And we're going to be able to secure this. Time bar ticking down. It's just up to Weatherman, and it's not going to be enough. Taken out instantly, and that's going to be St. Clair College with the first point for game number 1.
And a really nice game too, for sure. We saw a lot of back and forth play from both teams. You know, this is obviously the first game and the first the first round of the first map in this series. So both teams kind of taking some time to like get to know their opponents, analyze their play styles, and figure out what's working. St. Clair had some really nice pickoffs at the back. That Sombra hack on the Diva, really coming in clutch in these fights. Really excited to see how these next fights turn out.
Alright, now this is the brawly map that I kind of personally like here on Oasis. It's right here. This is basically a wrestling ring right here, except you got a little pitfall right better. Gotta capture this one in order to see. You do see a different team fight style, team composition coming from St. Clair. Up close personal battle. Off the Diva, going to Zarya. Wada now on the Reinhardt and Strider, opting to play a Mei for a little bit of zone control. And Available getting off of Ash. Everybody's looking up the wood right here. Alongside of St. Louis, it's relatively similar, not the exact same. Nice little wall coming out from Strider. And it's going to allow St. Clair to secure this first. Now, nobody has dropped just yet. Ultimate's being popped. That's a hell of a shatter coming out from Wada. And that's going to give St. Clair the first pick on this game. All things just a little bit longer here. Right along with Wada here. Kind of blocked by his own Mei, but it happens every once in a while. And they are getting aggressive with this. They're chasing them all the way down to their point.
And I like this push here coming out of St. Clair because they know they have the grab to fall back on. They're just trying to farm up ultis for the rest of their team, and as soon as that grab drops, you know, it's another wipe. It's a really smart decision making there with that push, forcing out St. Louis on the back end here.
This one's gonna be tough here for St. Louis. Only the sound barrier they will possibly have, but repulse by time comes out. But here comes the one. Here comes the grab alongside Available with the Death Blossom, and that is going to wind them up and knock them down nice and quick. Nicely done there from Saints.
And that's exactly what we're talking about there, right? With that grab, you know, letting your team kind of farm up their ultis. Seymour showing incredible patience with that grab, waiting for the perfect opportunity, hiding behind that wall, and setting up that awesome Death Blossom from what Available. Really nice work here. Really good coordination from the St. Clair squad.
All right, now ever here essentially for this type of St. Louis are going to get a nice pick off extremely early, and they're actually going to deny Strider's ultimate as well. The Blizzard taken down right along with Matt as he gets the Death Blossom off, but he is going to be stunned up, and he gets taken out. Possibly going to secure themselves a hold here. That's a little bit tough. From 5 and Juicy Available trying to get something done, but it's not going to. A little bit of a stall tactic here from Strider as St. Clair going to bring this to about the 97% mark. Finally goes down. Overtime are ticked off, but it is going to go over Lewis University. Going to get some points on third goes per set.
Strider making that decision to kind of hold on to the point and secure those last few points means that the next time St. Clair wins a team fight, that is the round and the game as well. We're going to have to see how they push into this fight here. Looks like we're getting aggressive on the Winston in the front here.
Seymour leading the charge alongside Prince Wada. Doesn't seem to be trying to do. This is going to be the Diva Bomb to make things a little bit messy, however. And Seymour's somehow going to get stuck in that. That's a huge pick to start off this fight. Available. He's at least going to try and trade out the support for it. However, the DPS from St. Louis University both doing a fantastic job cleaning up this fight. Everybody on St. Clair dropping, and they're going to get some additional points on the board. Are for St. Louis.
Just taking a look at the ult charges here, though, St. Clair definitely looking at coming up on almost 6 ultimates here for this next fight, while St. Louis really only has 3 to work with. This is really going to be a deciding factor in this next fight for sure, with the possibility to potentially combo another Death Blossom with the Graviton.
Slurp making their way in. Dingus will get the Tremble Rage. He really wants to top it off if he gets himself into a bad position. Might allow him to get a little bit more aggressive. Possible. Going to lead the charge of the rest of the squad. Getting that coalescence out right away. It's a solid grab. I think he's got maybe 1 or 2 in there. Capitalize on it completely. Everybody. A lot of securing him kill. Yasin getting on the kill board as well. This is going to be the end of game number 1. As long as they can deal with this Winston, they can deal with Dingus, and they are going to be able to do during that. It's just a matter of dealing with everybody who's trickling in at this point. I think they're going to slowly but surely clean this up, using the sound barrier just to make sure that Matt couldn't pop off. And
just the shatter to close it off.
Yep. That is 2-pointer. 1 more here.
Really well done from the whole St. Clair squad for Squirt, for sure. Yeah, that's right. The control point maps did change to being a best of 3 within the last little bit here in the competitive streak. So 2-0 is enough to take it for St. Clair in that first game. Really nice job from the squad.
Definitely apologize. That kind of got baited a little bit there. But yeah, so St. Clair, a very quick 2-0 in this. So of course have another. They're best of in play. Not sure where.
I was all in all, though, I was really excited with the quality of the players in that first game, and for sure from St. Clair's side, like really holding their fight lines well. We saw Wada really pop off on Reinhardt there on that second map on Oasis, really getting like I think it was 3 or 4 shatters he got in that game. So really knowing how to make the most of his ult charge, and really awesome coordination and combinations with their ultimates, and just playing off of each other really, really well.
And another thing I wanted to point out was kind of the stylistic difference that we saw between the 2 teams, especially in part 1, where St. Clair, you could tell their DPS were kind of comfortable on 2 separate things. The St. Clair squad opting for a more long-range composition. They're like bringing Ashe in, and then I guess they kind of had the Sombra in for a little bit, but the side of St. Louis, they wanted like in-your-face action, and a lot of those fights kind of got dealt with before the team fight actually happened with Bailable. Of course, one of our new players on the Saints squad, just absolutely cleaning house, getting the headshots he needed. While Matt, for example, was Reaper no matter what, which of course, if you're fighting for the point, that's fantastic. But the poke wars was a bit of a struggle, to say the least, for the side of St. Louis.
I think what I really liked seeing from St. Clair was in that first game, as you mentioned, obviously they had a composition that they wanted. They had the Ashe, they had the Sombra. But moving into that second game, after kind of taking a second to analyze what St. Louis was running with that kind of Winston, those heavy tanks, the Winston, the Diva, switching it up to something like the Reaper, like the Mei, and really kind of switching their composition going into the second game, rather than switching those heroes in the first game and kind of showing that they're comfortable on those heroes, saving it for game number 2 as a kind of a surprise factor. And I think it really popped off as we saw in those first 2 points. They managed to secure up to 99% before St. Louis even touched. So really just kind of showing their depth and breadth of their hero pools there.
Now, before we throw it into a quick break as the teams are picking up on where we're going to be playing for map number 2, we kind of got rushed into it, so I just wanted to introduce you a little bit better. So, Sedimental, you are now on the Hearthstone team, correct?
That's correct. I'm really excited to be playing with the Hearthstone team. I do play a lot of competitive CCGs, a lot of Runeterra, a lot of Gwent, and now a lot of Hearthstone with the St. Clair squad. So I'm really excited to be a St. Clair Saint and cast this first OW preseason match as well with my good friend Banner, Daniel Banner broadcast. It's going to be a really good time, and I'm really excited for how the rest of the night goes out.
Yeah, but this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of content for Saints this season. But we'll throw it to a quick break, and then I'll talk about the rest of it afterwards, as we got about a quick minute. Take a quick drink, and we'll get on with game number 2 between St. Clair College and St. Louis University. Stay tuned, everyone.